Hey everybody! Today we're going to be building a to scale model of a glue bottle. You will need a packing bubble like this. Make sure that you don't pop your packing bubble. We don't have very many extras. You will be needing a hot glue gun today, a couple of caps to choose from size-wise, and then a bag of plaster. This stuff is called bandage plaster, and you need to get it wet to wrap around your armature, and then it dries hard. To make that happen, you're going to need a bowl of warm water for the plaster as well. So to start, we are going to build our armature. We need to make the cap for the glue bottle first, and we're going to need hot glue for that. Let's talk about safety with hot glue really quick. As soon as you plug in the hot glue gun, it starts to get hot. The handle of the glue gun is not hot, but the metal tip of that hot glue gun is. And also, the clear glue that comes out of it is hot at first. It probably takes about 5 to 10 minutes to cool down. The glue does after it's applied. I have a full glue gun here, but if yours runs out of glue, you just take a glue stick and put it into the back of the glue gun. And when you're done with it, you can lay it down like that. Now let's use this thing. First, pick a large cap, a large flat cap to be the bottom part of your glue cap. I think I'm going to choose this blue one. And instead of trying to guess where to put the glue on the air bubble, I'm going to put the glue on the cap. It's very important to put the glue on the cap and not the bubble. Careful at this part not to touch the metal tip or to touch that glue that's coming out of it. And then place it in the top middle of your air bubble. I just want to make sure that it's secure, so I'm pressing down a little bit, being careful not to pop it. And then I'm going to choose a smaller and, well, a skinnier and taller cap for the nozzle of the glue. I've decided to use this red one. I think that looks more like a regular glue bottle to me. So I'm going to put glue on the cap, around the edges, and I'm going to be careful. Place this cap in the middle of the first cap you glued to complete your armature. The next part is to wrap this entire thing with bandage plaster. So let's get to it. To plaster your armature, you will need that bowl of water I was talking about earlier. And you're going to want to start plastering on just one side of your armature to start. Pull out one piece of plaster at a time to use. And the important part about this is to dunk it in the water and then rub the plaster between your fingers. This wakes up the dusty plaster and helps it be smoother. The smoother that you make the plaster before you lay it down or before it dries really, the easier it will be to paint and the more realistic it will look. It's kind of tough to make it nice and smooth, but try your best. You need to cover this entire thing, including the cap, but just work on one side at a time. I finally figured out a way to speed up my videos So, instead of watching me slowly cover this entire thing, let's speed it up, shall we? Of course, you need to keep in mind that it does take a long time to cover this. You might not finish it all today. We might take a couple of days to finish this, who knows? It's important that as you are covering the glue bottle, well, it's not a glue bottle yet, as you're covering the bubble, that you don't miss any spots. And you also need to make sure that it's going to be nice and strong. So you want to crisscross your plaster pieces. You want to make sure that they overlap so that this thing doesn't break apart when it dries. So really take your time on this. In real life, this took me about 25 minutes solid to cover this whole thing. 25 minutes solid. No chatting with friends, no getting distracted, and then I finally finished. So, make sure that you do the same thing and take a lot of time to cover your armature totally with plenty of layers, and make sure that the shape of your glue tip is nice and clear. You can squish the plaster while it's wet in order to shape it. But this bad boy is done and it's ready to dry. You are going to place your sculpture onto your tray to dry, along with the bowl of water and the baggie of plaster. Make sure all the pieces that you didn't use go back in it. Then you're going to use a wet rag to wipe that plaster off of your hands as well as the table. Next step, we get to be creative. Now you get to decide the brand name of your glue. Look at this example glue. This glue is called Elmer's School Glue. And on the back of it, it says, Elmer's School Glue, washable, great for kids, non-toxic. We are going to make a front and a back for our to-scale glue model, but we're gonna make up our own brand. And we get to make up special things about our glue that makes it the best glue ever. Let me show you what I mean. Let's start by using a pencil and one of these small pieces of paper to create a brand. I've decided that my glue is going to be named Zebra Glue. So on the front of the glue, I want it to say Zebra Glue in bubble letters. And then I want to draw a little zebra head at the bottom. And maybe some paintbrushes and extra artistic decorations. And I'm going to start with pencil so that I can erase any mistakes. Okay, I'm very happy with my pencil drawing, and now I'm going to outline my drawing with black and color it in. Cool, I am very happy with the front of my glue and the brand. It's gonna be glued right there. Fabulous. Now let's create the back. On real glue, the back label has a description of the glue. We are going to write a list of things that are special about our glue. It can be kind of crazy and silly. You can use your imagination for this part. Some of the things can be realistic, like I wrote down that it's washable. It is clog-free, which I have never heard of a glue that is clog-free, but I so wish that there was some glue bottle out there that never got clogged. I get so annoyed with those clogs. Oh my gosh. I also added great for fixing broken projects. And I also added that it comes out with zebra print and it dries clear. That's totally made up. I don't even know if that's possible right now to make glue that comes out with zebra stripes and then dries clear. But I think that would be so amazing. So I decided to add that. Now that I'm done with my description, I am going to outline all of these things with different colors. Now it's time to use actual glue to attach the brand name and the description to the front and back of our to scale model. Use plenty of glue around the edges and in the middle of the paper to make sure that none of it is going to stick up after it dries, so that it stays flat on the bottle to make it more realistic. Now it's time to add the final touches to our glue bottles with paint. You need to paint the tip of your glue bottle, and you can also add some extra decorations to the other white parts of the bottle. So I've decided to paint the tip of my glue bottle orange and purple, and then paint some black zebra stripes around the rest of the bottle, because after all, my glue is named Zebra Glue. Remember, your glue bottle is going to be different than mine. You can do polka dots, stripes, you can paint it all one color based on your brand name. I hope you had a great time making this to scale glue bottle. It's time to put them back on the trays to dry. Until next time.